What's up everybody, it's PyGuyCoding here, back in another Python video. Today we're going to be going over the Warmup 1 section of Codingbat.com, which is a really great website for practicing Python. They even have some Java practice, but for our purposes we're going to be sticking with the Python section. I think they have some really good resources, not only in the warm-up section, but also with lists, logic, some strings, stuff like that. They're really great if you want to do them before a test or before a midterm or something. So I really highly recommend those for anything, or if you just want to practice your Python skills, that's totally fine too. I'll leave the link to this website in the description below, so if you want to follow along, or if you want to do the warm-up first and then you want to check back in the video to see how you did, and maybe I can help explain it for you. Alright, so let's go into warm-up. Let's go to this first one called sleepin'. So it says, the parameter weekday is true if it is a weekday, and the parameter vacation is true if we are on vacation. We sleep in if it is not a weekday or we're on vacation. Return true if we sleep in. So we want to look at this sentence right here. We sleep in if it is not a weekday or we're on vacation. So if it's not a weekday, then we say if not weekday, and it says or, so we're going to be using the or comparison. So we're saying if not weekday or vacation, let's put this in parentheses just to make it clear that we're not saying the whole thing. We're just saying if not weekday or vacation, then we're going to return true, because we sleep in this case. In any other case, we're just going to return false. So let's just do else return false. If we hit go, we get them all correct. Let's get to the next one. Alright guys, so now we're going to be doing the monkey trouble function, which is the next one up in the warm-up section. So it says we have two monkeys, A and B, and the parameters A smile and B smile indicate if each is smiling. We are in trouble if they are both smiling, or if neither of them is. It should be if neither of them are smiling. Return true if we are in trouble. Alright, so basically we want to figure out if we're in trouble, and this condition of trouble is when they're both smiling or if neither of them are smiling. So if A smile is true and B smile is true, so this is one condition that meets our in trouble situation. So if A smile and B smile, or our next condition is going to be if not A smile, because we want to have it if neither of them are smiling. So not A smile and not B smile. It's kind of tricky sometimes. You might write not A smile and B smile and think that the not applies to all of them, but you actually have to write not in front of each one. So you have to say not A smile and not B smile. I know that when I was learning this, that really tripped me up and I would always get it wrong. So I'm not sure if you guys would have the same problem, but if you do, then just keep an eye out for that. So this represents if we're in trouble, and it says return true if we are in trouble. So we're just going to return true. Else, we're just going to return false. And that's pretty much it. Alright, let's go to the next one. Okay, so this one is called sum double, and it says given two int values, return their sum. Unless the two values are the same, then return double their sum. So this one's pretty simple. We just say if A equals B, then we're going to return 2 times the value of a plus b. Else, it says just return their regular sum. So we're just going to return a plus b. And let's see if we submit that. All correct. Alright, next one. Alright, so this function is called diff21. And it says, given an int n, return the absolute difference between n and 21, except return double the absolute difference if n is over 21. So what we're going to do is we're just going to return twice the absolute difference if n is over 21. So we're going to do 2 times the absolute difference, which is n minus 21. And then else, we're just going to return the absolute value of n minus 21. Because only when n is greater than 21, we're doubling the absolute difference. And we got them all right. Let's go to the next one. Alright, so the next one is called parrot trouble. It says, we have a loud talking parrot. The hour parameter is the current hour time in the range of 0 to 23. We are in trouble if the parrot is talking and the hour is before 7 or after 20. Return true if we are in trouble. So this is another one of those things where they're just saying you're in trouble. It's one of those trouble situations, and they're just saying return true if we are in trouble, else return false. But this sentence is the key. We are in trouble if the parrot is talking and the hour is between 7 or after 20. So we're going to be saying if the parrot is talking, so if talking is true, so if talking, and the hour is before 7 or after 20. So we're saying, and if the hour is before 7, so less than 7, or hour is after or greater than 20. And this case represents if we're in trouble. It says we are in trouble if the parrot is talking and the hour is before 7 and after 20. It says return true if we are in trouble. So we're just going to return true. Else, let's just return false. Let's hit go. We got them right. Let's go to the next one. Alright, so this one's called makes 10, and it says, given two ints, a and b, return true if one of them is 10, or if their sum is 10. So only return true if one of them is 10, so if a is equal to 10, or b is equal to 10, or a plus b equals 10. Because it says return true if one of them, meaning it doesn't matter which one, just as long as one of them are, so return true if one of them is 10. This is what this is saying. And then it says or if their sum is 10. So a plus b equals 10. So either one of this case or this case has to be true in order for us to return true. Otherwise, we're just going to return false. We got it right. Let's go to the next one. So what we're going to do for this one is we're just going to say if the absolute value of 100 minus n is less than or equal to 10, or the absolute value of 200 minus n is less than or equal to 10, then we're just going to return false. Oh, I'm sorry. We're just going to return true. Else, return false. And we got them all correct. Let's go to the next one. So this one is called positive negative, or posneg, and basically what it says is given two int values, return if one is negative and one is positive, except if the parameter negative is true, then return only if both are negative. So for this one, we're going to want to start with this except case. So it says except if the parameter negative is true, so if, oh, sorry about that. So if negative, meaning if that negative value is true, then return true only if both are negative, meaning both A and B. So if A is less than 0 and B is less than 0, then we're going to return true. Else, we're going to return false. So the next part is return true if one is negative and one is positive. So for this, we're going to want to say elif A is less than 0 and B is greater than 0. So this is one case. This is if A is negative and B is positive, or we can have it the other way around, where A is greater than 0 and B is less than 0. So this covers the case where it says if one is negative and one is positive. So in this case, we're going to want to return true. Else, we're going to want to return false. So we hit go, we get them all right. Let's go to the next one. So this one is called not string, and it's actually pretty easy. So it says, given a string, return a new string where not has been added to the front. However, if the string already begins with not, then return the string unchanged. So we're going to start with if the string already begins with not. We're going to start with that case. So if we say if string, there's actually a method called dot starts with, and it does exactly what it says. So if it starts with not, then we're just going to leave it unchanged. So we're just going to return string. In the other case, where it doesn't start with not, we're actually going to add the word not to the front of the word. So we're just going to return not plus string, and that works. Alright, let's go to the next one. This one's called missing char, and it says given a non-empty string and an int n, return a new string where the character at index n has been removed. The value of n will be a valid index of a character in the original string. So, for example, we have missing char, and if you give it kitten, it'll take out the 1 index. So it'll actually remove that I. So basically, and then it just removes whatever index you pass as n. Okay, so for this one, we can actually do it in one line of code, which is pretty good. So we're going to just say return string from everything up until n, and we're actually going to concatenate that with string at n plus 1 up into everything. And you'll see that this actually works. To show you how this works, I'll just pull up a whiteboard real quick. So if we have the word kitten, when we say string colon n, so when we say string bracket dot dot n, this basically says take everything in the string up to but not including n. So if we're given, let's say 1 for example, we're going to go up, take everything up to but not including the n index. So if this is 0 and this is 1, then we're only going to go up until 0 because we can't take 1 because it's not including. So this gives you k, and then we're concatenating it with string bracket n plus 1 up until the rest. That's what the colon is. So what this will give us is this will actually give us everything starting at n plus 1. So because we don't want n, so we want to skip this one. So we just want to go right here all the way up until everything else. So this will give us the t, t, e, n. And then these will basically just come together, and it just gives you k, t, t, e, n. So this is how that works. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so this function is called front back, and it says, given a string, return a new string where the first and last characters have been exchanged. So if we just say that if the length of the string is less than 2, then in that case, we're just going to return back the string. So this is because if we have something, for example, like the string a, this length is 1, 2, and it doesn't start at 0 with length. It actually just counts it regularly, like 1, 2. So then the length of this string is 2. But if it's less than 2, meaning it's only 1 character, then we can just return it because there's not 2 characters to switch. So that's why we have if length of string is less than 2, then we return the string. In the other cases, we want to initialize a front and back variable, and the front variable will be the first character in the string, and the back will be the last. So if we say front equals the string at 0, and that'll give you the first character of the string. Next we're going to say that the back is equal to the string at -1. And what -1 actually does is it'll actually give you the last character in the string, because it kind of, if you think about it, it kind of like wraps around. So if the first one is 0, then -1 wraps back around, and it's the last character. So our new string, so if we just make a new variable called new string, we're going to say that it's the back, because we're switching the front and the back characters. So it's back plus string from 1, because we're starting at the 1 index. So if we have something, for example, like Python, kind of hard to write with a mouse, sorry about this. So we want to switch this one and this one. So it will end up being N, Y, T, H, O, P. That's what we want. And we have the front variable, which is the first character. So this is front. And then the back, which is -1, which we said goes back around. So that's equal to n. So in order to get this, we're going to say that it's back plus this plus the front. So this is the back, this is the front, and then this is the middle. So the new string is equal to 1, because we're going to skip the first index. So it's from 1 up until the second to last character. So it goes up until, but not including, the last character, or the length of the string minus 1. And then we're just going to add the front to it. And then we can return new string. And we got it all correct. Okay, let's go to the next one. Alright, so this one says, given a string, we'll say that the front is the first 3 characters of the string. If the string length is less than 3, the front is whatever is there. Return a new string, which is 3 copies of the front. So, if it is length of 3, then we just have it 3 times. Otherwise, it's just the first 3 characters 3 times. And you can see that in these examples right here. So, what we're going to say is we're going to take care of the case where it's just length of 3, or less than 3. So if the length of string is less than 3, then what we're going to return is string times 3. Else, our new string is going to be equal to string from 0 up until, but not including, the third. And what we're going to say is we're just going to say return new string times 3. So we say go, and this is all correct. So new string equals string of from 0 to 3 is because, let's say we have some string like cat, or cats I should say, because we want it to be more than 3. So in this case, we only want to take this. So what it's going to do, we have string from 0 to 3. This is basic indexing, and it includes the first one, so it's going to go from here up until, but not including, the third index. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's only going to take this, meaning it's only going to take the first 3 characters. And that's what we want. And then we're just returning that times 3, which of course multiplies it and just does it 3 times. That's it for So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I'll be doing some more Codingbat episodes with the Python Warmup 2 and possibly the other sections if you guys like this. I'll also be going back to some of the other tutorials I've been doing. So I hope you guys like this. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.